someone to pick us up?
Yeah, we need to, yeah. The dinghy ain't gonna, we can't get it to run, so.
Maisie Rose, Maisie Rose, Maisie Rose. This is Papageno here, over.
Papageno, Maisie Rose.
Happy to go over to 6-9?
6-9.
Hello, darling. Are you ready to pick us up for our taxi?
Roger that. Standing by on 6-8.
Standing by 6-8. Leaving Papageno felt surreal. It was under such different circumstances from last time, but I knew I had to go home to regroup. But as I packed everything away and stood alone inside, I could imagine what it would be like just to live on her alone. I wasn't ready to go, it felt, but I knew it was time. I had to return to regroup and save more money for the reparations. People wonder how they can earn money once they travel, and for me it's my illustration business. That meant coming home and throwing everything I could into it to give Papageno the things she needed to become complete. We'd made so many new friends along the season, and there had been many highs and lows. I'd learned so much, but I was ready to get serious.
I can whistle.
Oh!
Leela, you
No!
Again, drive.
Wow! Who's that? Oh, she loves it. Poor nanny.
You're the spastic.
Returning home was wonderful. Seeing Leela run across the fields with my dad and nephew brought me so much joy, and I was so glad that she'd had a wonderful time. I've been back and forth from England for the past 2.5 years. It felt right to spend real time with my family, watch my nephew grow and re-establish friendships that I hadn't been able to nurture since being away. It was time to be still and work.
Good morning. Have a nice sleep. Good morning, everyone.
Oh no! You go swimming? Being home meant I could visit places like the Black Country Museum in Dudley. I've been wanting to come here since I was a little girl. It's a living, breathing museum dedicated to showing the public what the lives of people 100 years ago would have been like. With shops, houses, a working pub and even an underground mine to explore, you're guided by volunteers and staff to share stories of what lives would have taken place all that time ago. It's also one of the places where the Peaky Blinders was filmed, and you can see as you walk along the cobbled streets how easy it would have been to slip into character. I've always been fascinated with history and time. My favourite game as a child was to hide in a cupboard and pretend it was a time machine. I would go back to the ages of Robin Hood, the Elizabethan times or the Victorian era. Even as an adult, it's my favourite game, although this time I immerse myself in my writing rather than hide in a cupboard. My future home. Is there enough room, Mum? Oh, beautiful. God loves a trier, hey? currently in the Black Country Museum. Absolutely fantastic. Been wanting to come here for the past 20 years. It's based on the miners in the area.
Hello. Hello. Guess what we're standing on?
Look, Rowan. That's what Auntie Lizzie wants. Oh. During the 17, 18 and 1900s, narrowboats were commonly used for transportation of goods during the Industrial Revolution, and they continued to be used typically until the 1940s as progress inevitably took over. In the Midlands, Birmingham is thought to be the capital of the narrowboat community, having 35 miles of canals. That's said to be even more than Venice. To this day, there are still boating communities out in the water, enjoying life, wandering up and down Britain as far as the waterways take them. You can find a decent working 30-foot narrowboat starting from anything from £8,000, sometimes even cheaper if you're willing to put the work in. And it's easy to see why people fall in love with life on the water. It's just a matter of how you can make it work for you. Leela! Leela! She's supposed to be getting you in the bloody car. Oh, thanks. Typical. Good morning all. I have no makeup and I have not washed my hair. I have no idea why I'm starting off this video by apologising the way I look, because it is the way I look. Anyway, been really enjoying myself the past couple of weeks, just been chilling out with Leela really and painting, so I've just been throwing myself back into the Earl Wright's stuff with the writing and the painting, and I'm going to be releasing the third book in the series of Contracts of My Back. Oh, look at this girl. Leela! Come here then! Come on! Come on! Woo!
You're such a clever girl. You're sleeping.
Sleepy baby. So this is what I'm painting at the moment. Get my sets out. All of these paints, Lighthouse watercolours. Yeah, and I've got my backgrounds ready for my ink drawings. But yeah, just been cracking on with it really. Got some bad news. A couple of days ago my dinghy has been stolen, or it's been lost. It's either been lost or it's been stolen, so it's either the knot has slipped open or someone's taken it. But I don't know, I find it a little hard to believe that someone's taken the Papageno dinghy, just because it's not a great dinghy, but still it was mine and I paid for it, so I'm a bit gutted that it's gone. So that means I have to work even harder. I think I've got a friend called Kemlin who's living on Papageno, and I think he's really gutted, and I feel really bad for him because I don't want him to feel guilty or anything, because sometimes these things just fucking happen, and at the end of the day no one's hurt. It's just stuff, isn't it? It's just things. But yeah, oh god, so yeah, last 3 days I've just been cracking on painting, and yeah, I'm going to be editing some episodes, just trying to get back into the swing of things. I'm missing island life already, but I'm going sailing on Friday with Stephen and Tommy. We're going to a place called Draycote Water Park, and just going to be practicing tacking and jibing, and preparing me for when I go back. But yeah, be okay. Oh, I need to get some sleep. Good night.